Hi, it's Rebecca. It has been a really long time since I've done a vlog, and almost to the point where I feel like I'm really kind of out of practice. I used to do them pretty regularly in 2006 when I was kind of cataloging through video my experience through the gastric bypass. And because I was afraid of what other people thought, I took all those down and kind of went underground for a little while. My family felt it was a little bit too vulnerable to strangers, but I like getting to know strangers through and connecting with people through the internet as well as in real life. So it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Northern California, and I have a lot of homework on my plate right now. I'm back at school to get my degree in multimedia mass communications, but I've been running so much and so long that sometimes I have to remind myself that I need to take a break and rest. And I've been doing that a lot Friday, Saturday, and today. And I have a lot of homework that I need to get caught up on because of it, as well as work. And for those of you who don't know what I do, I do a myriad of things. Currently, I am a contractor doing copywriting, web blogging and copywriting for a digital marketing company in Northern California as an intern. I also do film and video production and writing on the side as well. That's what I'm going to school for. And I just love sharing life and with people. For those of you who don't know, because I'm going to be putting this up on YouTube, if you haven't looked at any of my other vlogs, I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I'm, almost 44 years old. I'll be 44 in June. And my husband, who's 10 years older than me, has terminal stage 4 colon cancer. Though he's doing pretty well, as well as he can be expected through the chemotherapy. I have a 21, almost 22-year-old son who is studying film at one of the University of California here in Northern California. And I have a 16-year-old daughter who is an amazing artist. She's also an avid gamer. Actually, both my son and my daughter are both avid gamers, and but she's interested in video games, obviously, but makeup and things like that, and hair, and she's gone through some rough spots. Our whole family has gone through some pretty rough spots in the past couple years, and but I'm really proud of her and the rest of my family and how they've really overcome and the odds that they've been facing. I started doing film in 2010. I started, switching from video over to film and making stories. I've always been an avid storyteller because I was a songwriter and a poet as a young adult, and was a huge reader. Loved getting caught up in someone else's world, and still do. I mean, when I have time, I listen to as many books on tape because I like to multitask as possible. It's not that I don't like to read. My eyes are kind of going, so it's a lot easier. I'm an audible person, so and a kinetic learner, so I love listening and getting caught in a world, like when I'm vacuuming the house or when it's very hard for me to sit down for long periods of time and feel not productive, which is probably because what we've been facing as a family. It's being a caregiver, and the only reason I say with this is, yes, I'm his wife, but he's been taking care of himself for a long time. A lot of people expect me to, wait a hand and foot, but and I did very, very much in the beginning. But after a while, I just, he didn't have a job, and he lost everything to cancer. So it was like, okay, I'm not gonna, steal away his pride by, taking away his right to make his own meal, or have him do the laundry or whatever. So and I feel guilty sometimes, because I'm going back to school full time and I'm working on the side, and I don't have a lot of room and for like house cleaning and stuff. But I'm trying to change my career. I've been administrative for 20 years, account management, administrative, and coordination. And I want to do that on the creative side. I really enjoyed it doing that, and both audio, video, print, web, social media, so all of that. So that's a little bit of who I am and where we've come from. I'm also a born again Christian. I currently go to an artistic Anglican church that I absolutely love. The name of the church is Incarnation, and I fell in love with my Anglican roots unexpectedly. I was raised in the Episcopal Church and I just went into a different denomination around high school, and traveled mostly to non-denominational or vineyard type churches. And then recently I started coming back to, I came back to Anglicanism because there was such depth to the liturgy, and depth to, that was not only, scripturally accurate, everything, but it was historically, the idea that I'm praying the same things that people prayed, 1900, 1500 years ago, however old it is. I've heard a couple of years, but it's more than 1,000 years. So it's, the oldest thing I remember. I know that my dad's, his wedding vows and the whole service dates back 1,500 years, according to the pastor. So, it's pretty amazing to feel connected in that way. And so I'm really enjoying that, and enjoying the fact that they bring art and music. Like we did Depeche Mode as part of the sermon today. I loved that. So, excuse me, you're going to see me, I'm drinking my Pellegrino. This stuff is amazing, and it's kind of blown soda out of the water for me. So the past 3 years have been really kind of challenging. And everybody who knows me knows that, anybody facing cancer. But it's been more than that for me. It's been challenging in the sense where I, in some cases, haven't been taking care of myself very well. And in some cases, I have kind of dropped the ball in some things. And I'm working towards fixing that. We're all human. That's my cat Felix. So if you see him come up on the table, he might just do that and join us because he loves to have attention. Anyways, all that to say, I've really kind of struggled, especially in my faith, for the past 3 years. Actually, since about 2008, kind of had a little issue with my faith. Stopped trusting scriptures, stopped trusting the church, and that's why coming back to Anglicanism was so important to me. And I know that some of my friends would be like, oh my gosh, they think Catholic, and but because we pray the Nicene Creed and everything. But I find that doing like confession and Eucharist every week is very, very comforting. So it's just something that I really, really appreciate and connect with. For those of you who are caretakers of someone facing cancer, and I'm sorry, I have a tendency to bunny trail a little bit when I talk. I come into these with absolutely no plan of what I'm going to talk about at all. I'm just spewing my, life to you as if you were sitting in front of me on my porch having a nice glass of Pellegrino with me. But if you're new to this journey, I wish I could say welcome would be a thing to say, but you're probably not feeling pretty welcome with the diagnosis that you've received in your family. And this is going to kind of test you in a way that you have not been tested before. You're going to see ugliness that you never thought was there. You're going to see sadness that you never might have realized that you had, or maybe all of your dreams, that you had, aspirations, might be coming and crashing down. But I will tell you one thing is that cancer is not the end. It's just part of a journey. Maybe your journey was going this way and you just made a sharp, unexpected right turn or left turn or whatever. And the hardest thing is getting used to the life as you know it now. That's going to be the most difficult thing. is getting used to what I call the new norm. And those of us who have family members that are facing cancer understand that. And until you've been there, it's really kind of hard to explain. But, you know, life kind of, you have to take into consideration things. I mean, you have to weigh other people's opinions, especially if you decided to Western medicine over Eastern medicine, or a combination of both. And you know, it can be very tough, you know, weighing those decisions, especially since people are very, very passionate about their own position and opinion about like how to fight cancer. You know, I have friends who only do things naturally, you know, and that's great. And they've been successful at it. We tried. We didn't have enough time in the beginning for my husband to try natural cures, but we did when he was given 6 months last October. We went full bore natural for a couple months, and actually he got worse. So here comes my cat. So you're gonna see him. Hi, baby. Anyways, he's never been out here like this. He's an indoor only cat. So, and we're upstairs, so you know, it's not like he's gonna jump down and run off. So, anyways, so there's a lot of things that you have to consider as a caregiver. You know, there's a lot of things you have to protect. All of the information that's coming at you, all of the diagnosis that's coming at you, and the weight of everybody else wanting to help in the various different ways. And it's okay to like freak out every once in a while. I have had huge nervous breakdowns, not in the sense where like, oh, life is over as I know it, but in the sense of you just come to an emotional point. Like the first time I had my nervous breakdown, I couldn't hang up my phone. I was like having a fight with my mom, and I just lost it. All this emotion came to the surface, and it just kind of spilled out. Because you kind of try and keep it together as a caregiver. And then I ended up trying to throw the phone across the room because I was so frustrated. And I ended up throwing it out my bedroom window and beyond the field that's behind our apartment at that time by about 40-50 feet. And all I did was I just looked at the window and I just cried and I sobbed. Literally fell on the floor and just sobbed for 45 minutes. And I realized it really wasn't the window. It was what the window represented. I very much felt like that window. I very much did not want to have a phone thrown through me or my family. It wasn't just about me. It was about my family and the weight and the responsibility that I suddenly felt on my shoulders. So that's and I've been carrying that, but you know, I got used to the responsibility, and that's why I decided to go back to school. It was like, okay, you know, obviously tomorrow's not promised. No way is it promised. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do what I love to do. I'm going to move forward in the passion that I am. And you know what the funny thing is? I thought my family would be like, oh, you need to stay and work. You need to like totally take care of your family. But I was like, okay, I need to get some skill sets that I can do work out there that, A, I love, B, I'm good at, and C, would give me more than, you know, a $12 to $13 an hour paycheck. You know, so I can support myself and my daughter should we suddenly find ourselves alone, which could be a possibility in the next, you know, 3 to 10 years. You never know. So my family was very, very supportive. I mean, I went right from high school into the working force, so I didn't have a degree under me. And what I was finding also, I was looking at all these other jobs, even though I had 20 years experience, because I had no degree, I wasn't even being considered. Or many of them had a degree requirement on the job description. So I decided to do that. It's hard. It's getting harder because, of course, you know, I'm getting past all the intro courses. But I enjoy it. I really enjoy the educational experience and learning and growing. And I love that my world is expanding. So, um, so yeah, it's really kind of a cool thing. So I don't know why I'm doing this, other than I had a really hard dream last night. I had a dream that I woke up, at the end of the dream, I had a dream that I was sobbing and trying to say, how can I forget that my husband's dying of cancer? And I really woke up kind of shaken up. And so here it is, in 3.5 years, you still have those concerns. You still have those issues in your heart. Though I am a lot more resolved to Mark's journey than I was before. And I am still fighting, but it's not fighting with cancer anymore. It's fighting with time, and it's a very delicate balance. I have a heart that really loves to help everything and everyone. But the problem is I can't help everything and everyone. So I have to really pick and choose my battles. Like, I'm really afraid of saying no to something, that the door would close and then nothing else would be open to me again. But come to realize that, there are multiple doors. And so I just have to kind of trust the process. I mean, I did that a couple weeks ago. Easter Sunday was a huge thing for me. I was able to finally let go of certain things and actually not feel guilty, or feel less guilty. Like, I had a wonderful dinner with my pastor and his family on Friday night, and then I had another wonderful evening with my friends yesterday evening on this porch. And I'm enjoying this afternoon now. And I have, like I said, tons of work, but I'm just enjoying the moment, because work will always be there, always, and I will get it done. But I need to have this time for reflection, time for enjoyment, and time for peace. So anyways, that's the biggest thing that we can do as caregivers, is to take care of ourselves as well as those that we love around them. So anyways, that's it for today. I'm going to get back to my social psychology and algebra homework. So you have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk soon. Bye.